Live from Los Angeles. Welcome to Good Morning La La Land. I'm Dr. Erin.
I'm Rob Mack.
And I'm Jessica Moyer. This is Good Morning La La Land, America's first live streaming daily talk show, coming to you live Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Also available on Apple TV, Roku, and Twitch.
That's right. Today is Wealth Wednesday. We're going to talk about taking a quantum leap in abundance. We come together each morning to know the truth, live on spiritual principle, have a great time, and get wowed by some products going on here.
All right. I love the quantum leap. Time of baby steps, right?
Do it, yeah.
If it's meant to be, it will be, and at least we'll look great. Wow.
Wow.
Look at this beautiful kit. We are so excited to welcome our very special guest this morning. Hello, I'm back in the studio.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello. How are you this morning?
We're so excited that you're here. Ash, you've got the mic. Congratulations on the massive success here on hashtag Wealth Wednesday of wow.
Thank you.
It's
Appreciate
just
it.
wow.
Glad to be here.
So tell us, how does an entrepreneur like you start your day? What's your morning routine?
I try to end up waking up really early, about 4:35 a.m. I'm in the office generally by 6:30. I start early, trying to get a lot done early in the morning before the rest of my team comes in. But then I tend to get my meetings done around afternoon so that early in the day I can get a lot more done with my team. That's how I approach the day, and work late too.
I have a feeling it also involves some really incredible apple cider vinegar skin and hair care, right?
Yep. We started the company off in India 4.5 years ago, me and my high school friends and my older brother, and gone from strength to strength. We started slow, just with the apple cider vinegar drink, and then eventually, due to customer experience and customer demand, it's the customers who told us that, that you could also use apple cider vinegar for your hair. And we ended up making one of India's first sulfur-free, paraben-free, silicone-free, chemical-free hair care products. That was 3 years ago, and we've been the #1 shampoo since, for about 26 months straight on Amazon India.
Wow.
That's incredible.
Wow.
Intended.
Wow, indeed.
Every pun intended this morning. Well, thank you so much. We're so excited. Dr. Andrea is in the house. Good morning, Dr. Andrea.
Good morning, you guys. How are you?
We're so excited to get transformed for purpose this morning.
Hey, that's what it's all about, living our best life each and every day. I'm excited and honored to be here, in fact.
So what is your morning routine? How do you start your day?
I start my day, first of all, with a little meditation. Wake up and just kind of calm myself, because life can get started really, really quickly. And if you're not careful, you'll be off doing things that you didn't intend to do for the day. So slow myself down, take some time, sit, figure out who I am first, because if you don't define who you are, the rest of the world will tell you. So meditate, and then start getting the kids ready, and then off to the office.
Yes. Love that.
Well, thank you both so much for being here. We're excited to talk to you more later in the show.
I can't wait to hear about wow products.
They're wow, let me tell you. What a great name. I mean,
right? Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
It's brilliant. I mean, honestly, it's because I knew the name was wow, but when they brought it up to the table this morning, I was like, wow. And like, oh, yeah, and that's the name too.
Like, literally wow.
Yeah. It was brilliant.
It is brilliant.
Marketing.
There's so much in a name, right? It's incredible. And it's hard. It's hard to find great names, whether it's a book, whether it's a product, whether it's a
Every
business.
.com's taken.
I know. It's true.
Yeah.
That's why my email address is like so super long. It's from the inside out. It's like 39 letters.
Your tagline.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I'm really grateful I don't have that problem thanks to a very creative mother and a name like Jesslyn.
It's you.
There
Well,
you go.
yeah, you did a good job. I can't that.
The single handle on Instagram at Jesslyn, the single domain name Jesslyn.com.
Here's another. I don't know how you pronounce this, but I want to give a shout out for this beautiful necklace.
Oh, that's beautiful. That is beautiful.
Acapantha. I think that's right.
Mm-hmm.
That's gorgeous.
It's gorgeous.
Wow.
And I love it because I don't know if you can tell, but it's actually a symbol of spirit. It is theta. It has like a flat wave because we are nothing, right?
Love that.
Yeah. So it's named.
No thing, nothing, no
That's
thing.
right.
Right? You guys be on that.
Well, I am at all the things this morning. Talk about needing to slow down and meditate and set my intentions for the day, like Dr. Andrea mentioned. So I had this total Sex in the City moment this morning. I'm carrying 2 wardrobe changes, my work bag full of things, my coffee with the collagen in it, and my special chia seed butter toast, and all the things that I don't need to carry all in one hand, right? And car key in the other. And lo and behold, I drop the dresses, the coffee spills, and this slow-mo of 30 seconds, I toss my key, the one car key I have, into the street, and it slides right into the gutter.
Oh, it did not.
No.
It did
There
not.
it is. It is. And it was just like this, the gowns are on the ground, the coffee is all over me, and the key is now being washed down the LA River.
You're kidding me right now. Oh, Jess.
It was such a morning.
I'm so sorry.
I'm like, what do? I go upstairs, and let me tell you, I knew I didn't like the dress I was wearing. I thought, this isn't going to be a good day. I don't like this dress. And I thought, well, suck it up, wear the dress, get on with it. And one thing after the other, I wasn't supposed to wear the dress, I wasn't supposed to drive the car, had to take it all off and start over.
Isn't it interesting?
So fun.
It's so interesting because, and you talk to this really eloquently, but like the unconscious and the subconscious always finds a way to manifest itself in your life. Always. You can't fight the heart. Like if there's something you truly want or desire in your life or believe, it comes out.
Right, but if you're sitting there and you're like, you can't help but kind of laugh. Like,
Yeah, totally.
You're like, okay, really? Like, okay, what are you trying to say? Like, honestly, universe.
Exactly. We used to play this game when I was a little kid. My mom would drive up to the stoplights and she'd time it out so I could say hocus pocus tiddly-ocus, change light change. And if the light didn't change when she told me to say this, I'd say, what's the matter? Don't you like the clothes I'm wearing today? And so it's kind of this thing I've always done from like the time I was a real young child, that if the universe didn't like the clothes I was wearing this day, it was not going to be a good day.
That's incredible. You were really meant for video and theater. And it's amazing. That was not my childhood at all.
Well, that's funny because that's like what you believed, and that's what it's
Completely.
like. Yeah. You're like, okay, you put that in there. You might want to take that one back out.
Tweak that a little bit.
I think I'm going to need to reprogram myself a little bit this morning.
That's so interesting.
Oh my gosh, well, we have a few other things to shout out, right?
Yes, we're so grateful for the community of Andrew Newman and Conscious Bedtime Stories. He's released 2 new stories. We Are Circle People and The Girl with Waterfall Eyes.
Love that.
I love that one. It's so beautiful.
They're so beautiful. They're such great stories. And of course, they've been endorsed by Dr. Erin Haskell.
Well, they must be good
herself.
then.
Yes.
Exactly.
That's right.
No, they're beautiful. He's amazing. I just love the concept of really molding and awakening the consciousness and keeping it awake within the children. They come in awake, and then we smash it down with our belief systems, right?
Yeah, it's so great to get it right from the jump when you're a kid instead of waiting till you're like 40 years old and then try to reprogram everything. Are you kidding? It's too late to reparent yourself then.
Much easier.
Yes, I'd like to tell this little girl with waterfall eyes, it doesn't matter the clothes she's wearing today.
Aww. That's
Right.
so
I think we have to read it to find out.
I know, right? For sure.
Awesome.
So let's talk about Wealth Wednesday. So it's interesting. I was thinking about, I have a couple clients, and I've had clients in the past that are all stepping into a new career. I mean, it's a really, actually, it's a big part of our culture right now. People are doing U-turns, as Ashley Stahl would say, in redirecting their career. They're like, okay, I did this one thing, but it wasn't exactly what my heart wanted. I'm going to follow my heart now, and they start on this new path. And then what happens with some people is they hold on to their old life, like with nails going down the chalkboard. They're like holding on still, like, well, I don't know if I can let this go to get over here. And I was thinking about that, how the universe is listening, right? So it's like you decide you want a new career or you're ready for more abundance or whatever it is, and you gotta let it go.
Yeah.
You gotta let it go. Like energetically, quantum leap at a molecular level and energetic level, like it has to totally jump to a new quantum field, and it cannot be in the same universe, essentially.
Yeah.
So like, what do you gotta let go?
I mean, Erin, though you're talking quantum universe leaps and everything, that is a lot when you're just trying to make small changes in your life that seem daunting and overwhelming. Like some people can't even change maybe the way that they brush their teeth or the way they choose what they're going to wear. So to take this quantum leap universe jump seems wild and scary. I don't blame anybody for wanting to hang on to their whatever semblance of old ways and stability they have, because it gives them some sense of safety in a very scary time in their life.
It's so true. I think we often prefer or choose familiarity over change, even if it's positive change. But at the end of the day, change is really ultimately just about changing a thought. And whether you change a thought with respect to your identity around the role that you're playing, or the kind of position you have at work, and the business you have, or something much bigger than that, like in terms of like who you are relative to the world itself, it's just one thought that you're changing, but you want to change it consistently enough that it sinks deep enough.
But I agree with Jen
right?
in that it's the hard. I think it's the hardest work you will ever do is having an identity shift. Like it's amazing how scary and what a warrior, we call it spiritual warfare. Really, when you're shedding the identity, it's scary because who am I if I'm not X, Y, and Z? Who am I if I'm not these things and these material things and all this? And I got to let it totally go to have that unknown place that we have to go to. It's scary. It can be totally scary. But if you want that, you've got to let it go.
Yeah.
Let it go.
And I think part of the realization is that eventually come to realize that it's scary to stay as you are.
Totally.
Right? So the pain, it's okay. If you don't want to change, you don't have to change. Just stay as you are and wait until the pain gets enough.
How's that working for you? You're dangling by this branch that's like swirling you around. Yeah.
It's an interesting thing too, because I've been really meditating on the idea of letting go to let in. You know, we talk a lot about holding space in our lives for opportunities or relationships. And so many times I oversay yes, because I don't want to feel empty. When the reality is, if I choose what I'm saying yes to, or choose no, or choose to create more space in my life, whether that's space in my closet, space in my love life, or not being able to drive my own car to the studio this morning, I'm allowing for opportunity that wouldn't have existed if I didn't have that space. It's not emptiness, it's not loneliness, it's just space.
Yeah. Well, the car key in the gutter. Put some space.
That did.
You and anything you want to access with that key. Yeah. It is true though, Jez. I think at the end of the day, it's just space. I mean, if you talk to physicists, right, they say that everything that looks solid and real, including our own bodies, is mostly composed of space. It's just space. So it is both a recognition of the space that already exists and also an allowance of the space that you want to create in your life, right?
So true, right?
It's a little.
Yeah. I do think there's, but I do think that if someone truly is saying, I want a new life, I want this abundance that I'm not quite having here, I want to be authentic, I want this whole new thing, there is at some level you got to surrender, because there's a higher plan, maybe different than you want, and it's not always the easy path. Birthing things is tough. It's painful birthing your new life.
Totally. And don't you think it's important that folks practice the vibration of that new identity?
Oh, for sure.
Right? So how would they begin doing that?
You know, we had this conversation, the coaching call actually yesterday. We have Tuesday, we do all spiritual, metaphysical, universal law, subconscious work, and on Thursday we do soul entrepreneurship. We talk, but so there's this one gal that she really wanted to manifest a partner, and she believes that it will happen, but that's the belief that it will happen. So it's like there's this practice called getting your mojo on without anybody in your life. So how do you feel? What do you want to feel when you're in that relationship? Do you want to feel sexy? Do you want to feel like you're safe? What is that feeling that you want to embody in that relationship, and beginning to feel that? I have girlfriends going to, I guess there's this thing called the S factor. It's like where you dance on a pole even though you're not like a stripper. So they're getting their mojo on, just saying.
Okay.
They're getting in that vibration.
That's a good point though, and that's what all the work that Neville Goddard did essentially was assuming the state or the feeling of the wish fulfilled, right? So it's just imagining and visualizing yourself in the state or being the person you want to be, and doing it for the feeling itself, not doing it in order to create the condition, because of course that's a trap, but just doing it because you're playing with it and you have a good time with it.
It's important to recognize though that we don't mean you have to keep up with the Joneses. Yes, I want to live like I'm a billionaire, but that doesn't mean I have to, or that I can, afford the dress or the car or the jewelry. It's all about the way that feels. Well, what is it that freedom entail, right? So is it the ability to choose? Is it the ability to travel? What does it feel like? Are you joyful? Are you excited? Are you intrigued? Are you adventurous? And to be able to be an actor in your own life and embody those emotions and those feelings, rather than just purchasing things that you can't afford.
Oh, totally.
To keep up with
It's
the
all about the
to
feeling
live
state.
the life.
Yeah.
It's all about feelings.
Except for wow.
I think, right. I would say one other thing too, and this is just a realization that's worked for me. It may not work for everyone, but I think the belief that change is hard is in itself part of the problem. Like, we're changing all the time. Every single day you're changing. You might take a different route to work. Like, there's a little detour. You might be like a little bit ruffled for a second, but then you accept the change and you move and flow with it. So this idea that change is hard, I think, is BS, because you're changing all the time. It just so happens that you're often changing to the same thing all the time.
Right.
So,
give up that BS, that belief system.
Right?
Not
The
working
BS.
anymore.
I love it.
Not working at all.
Favorite little.
So what do you do with your clients when they are like wanting to make huge change, but they're like, you know, grappling onto?
I double down to see if they actually mean it.
Right.
Most people don't mean it. It's okay. You know, it's okay. It's just not ready.
True.
Yeah.
So true.
If as soon as you identify that, I don't need to do a whole lot of work. We don't need to do a whole lot of work. Let's just, pull out the remote and watch TV. It's fine.
It's so
There's nothing
funny.
wrong with that.
it all comes down to commitment.
Yeah.
Every last drop of
Yeah.
it.
If you're
How
genuinely
committed are you?
interested.
If you're committed,
Yes.
it's going to work out. If
And-
you're not, it's not going to work out.
Totally. When you've made change in your life, Jez, what have you?
Well, I'm in the throes of change
Yeah.
right now. If you watched the show yesterday, we had Tilton on. Terry Tilton, and she is a woman of divine wisdom. So she's a spiritual, intuitive, a medium, and a coach, and she gave me very specific homework to do. She said, write down a list of all the things that you've said to yourself or that you were programmed around abundance, and then write down what you want to feel like. And it was really interesting because I thought, okay, so I'm going to write, I'm broke, I'm poor, whatever. But as I wrote, all of these things kept coming out, and I thought, wow, I say this to myself every single day.
Wow.
And the list was growing and growing and growing. I am not enough. I don't have enough. I'm scared to see I don't have enough. All of these things. And I thought, wow, it was almost shocking. I didn't realize what I had been programming to myself. And then when I wrote the next page was what I was supposed to say to myself, I kind of thought, well, where do I go from here? These are all the things I'm supposed to want to feel and how I want to change to be. But how do I reprogram that so I'm not doing it because I'm afraid to be like this, but because I want to be like that?
Yeah.
You know, and that's really key, is to be able to flip that walking stick, as she mentioned yesterday, and to be able to walk in that faith and that belief, rather than say, I'm afraid to be the girl that says I don't have enough. I'm afraid to be the girl that thinks she is not enough. Well, that doesn't change anything.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I think that's they say half the battle is just recognizing it. And so congratulations.
Yeah.
I think even if we can just,
Absolutely.
we have so many blind spots, all of us, that if we could just even see what's really going on, then that's most of it.
Absolutely.
Honestly.
And I think there's two levels to this thing, right? So one is an intellectual, analytical level. There's a deeper level that's more visceral. On an intellectual level, what you're essentially doing is you're building a case for why you are abundant and why you are enough. Now, simply saying I'm abundant or I'm enough doesn't do hardly anything. You have to tap into the reasons why that's true right now, not why it's going to be true later, why it's true right now, why you're infinitely, eternally abundant right now. If you can tap into that and build a case the way a bad lawyer or a good lawyer would, all of a sudden you'll convince your mind. But to convince your heart, you've got to do something entirely different, which is identify with source or spirit. You cannot possibly embrace this infinite, eternal notion of abundance without identifying with source. If you continue to identify with a mind and a body, it's impossible to feel abundant on a
That's
consistent
why
basis.
we love Rob.
Is that not true?
Yeah.
This is why we love it.
Yeah,
I
it's
just
so
absorb from you guys and I share it with everybody else.
Consciousness
That's all I do.
is the most attractive.
It's
I mean,
everything.
You look great, your clothes are
Yeah,
awesome,
yeah.
but the mind,
Well,
just saying.
Well, that's why
Right?
we love each other so much. It's true. It's true. But that's the one thing I experienced. It took me a long time. It took me decades to really feel abundant, despite having some money and having some things going well in my life, until I was like, you know what? I'm not this mind. I'm not this body. I am source that is infinite, eternal, indestructible, immovable, unshakable, unconditional. It just is.
Preach.
Right?
Woo! He is tapped
We're
in, tuned in,
Sorry.
turned up.
I got turned up today a little bit. Maybe some alcohol in here. I don't know what's in here.
You're cut
Water.
off from the coffee.
Yeah, I'm done. I'm done. Too much Red Bull.
Let's take a break. When we come back, we have incredible guests here to talk about all kinds of things creating and Wealth Wednesday and so on and so forth. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Yes.
Thank you for tuning in to the Model Mama Show. I'm your host, Tara Tenner, and Shelton, we are signing off. Thanks, bye.
Beautiful.
I'm so glad to have you. Thank you.
I feel so lucky. Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining me. Cheers. Here's to a good Friday night. Thanks, Michelle, and I will see you again next time.
And thank you everyone for joining in. This has been another episode of Mind, Body, Spirit, and I'm Dr. Kate.
Thank you so much. I hope you guys live your best life. Peace out. Peace out.
And thank you for watching the LA Home Show, where we discuss all things real estate, interior design, and much, much more.
We'll see you next time. You're watching Passion to Paycheck on the Focus TV network.
Thanks for watching. Tune in next time.
So I'm your host, Serena Poon, and thank you so much. We'll see you next time.
And if you want to binge watch these videos, they will be on Focus TV network. Check that out. We will see you soon. Thank you so much for being here. Bye, everyone.
Bye. I greatly appreciate your service.
It was an honor to serve. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you guys so much for tuning in for this episode of Purpose. I am your host, Brittany Zonker, and I will see you next time.
It's been such a treat to have you here. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I love you.
Erin Ziering, millennial moms, the best blogger parent out there.
Thank you.
Aww. Thanks guys for watching.
All right, thanks guys for watching. You're watching The Ren Wood Show on Focus TV Network. We'll see you next time.
Until next time, guys, on Focus TV Network, sipping that tea where we sip
Yes,
that tea
and our guest spiller. Thank you guys.
Bye. Well, thanks again, and we'll see you guys next time on Moms Matter.
Thank you for listening, and DM us, follow us on social media.
Charo, baby! Coochie, 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 coochie.
I appreciate your time today. Casey Montoya, you are a woman warrior.
Thank you, Courtney. Thank you for letting me talk about this.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. It's so sweet.
Thank you to the Focus TV studios for another great episode, and I'll see you guys next time.
We are Good Morning LALALAND, America's first live streaming daily talk show, coming to you live Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. And you can listen to all your favorite interviews available as a podcast on iTunes.
That's right. We're waking up the world together. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe, and check out this amazing, amazing people.
It's going to be a Good Morning LALALAND.
Well, thank you so much for watching and for listening to Celeb CEOs with Rachel McCord. This is Erin Kerman, and we've got Jax, and tell me her name one more
Lucy.
time. Lucy in the studio making lots of fun noises. Mwah, we love you. Tune in next time. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, sir. Thanks, sir.
Wealth Wednesday is all about the wow today here on Good Morning LALALAND, and we've got the founder of Wow with us today. Good morning, Ash. Thank you so much for being with us.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
So let's start from the very beginning. Wow. Where did you come up with the name?
Oh, we just came up with the name just like that. We 4.5 years ago, when we were trying to come up with a brand name, in our conversations with my business partners, we would just say wow a lot. And when we said, okay, hey, is this domain name available? Wow, product name. It was available, and we went with the flow. We started with just one single product in India, and it just caught fire, and we've gone from strength to strength from there, and we added more products. We have over 100 products now. A pretty popular brand in India, actually. Yeah.
What do you think led to that first product catching fire?
I think the Indian e-commerce market was just about taking off. So we was probably the pioneers in terms of marketing health and beauty products online in India back in those days. And we were always focused on customer experience first rather than profits. So when that happens, we respond to every email, every phone call, every social media comment. So that alone differentiated us from every other company out there. So we would say a lot, we grew because of our customers, because word of mouth, we don't spend too much on our marketing, even in India. Word of mouth, that is, friends and family, customers telling their friends and family that this product has changed their hair, skin, acne issues and so on, and then that's how we've got fired. Wow. And Amazon has been a good story for us in India and in the US, and we've just, it lets you compete with the big brands, right? Absolutely.
I recently read in WWD that your sales in the US, though, are up 300% in the last 12 months.
Yes, we were actually circumspect in terms of will the success of our brand translate from a country like India into the US? And we were pretty surprised that, the products that, especially the apple cider vinegar shampoo and conditioner, just translated. And we were always worried, but,
it's worked, and you know, as long as you have great products, your rankings will rise on Amazon, and it's actually the #1 selling shampoo and conditioner on Amazon.com.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah.
So tell us about apple cider vinegar and why it's this miracle thing.
I wouldn't call it a miracle thing. You know, apple cider vinegar itself has been used for various health benefits in the Western culture and in the Eastern culture for thousands of years, actually. And obviously, it caught fire in terms of, you know, there are a few brands which are selling apple cider vinegar as a drink for a couple of decades now, both in US and in India. And when we started off, I personally use apple cider vinegar as a drink in my smoothies or just with lemon and honey in the morning. It's great for digestion, great for your skin, pores, and so on. But it was our consumers and our customers who educated us about the benefits for hair. I don't focus too much on my hair, so me neither. And since we are so great with customer experience and customer support, we listen to everything our customers say. And you know, if it was 1 or 2 after we launched the drink, that is, it became the #1 seller on India, and we kept listening, and people are like, you know, your drink is amazing. I've been using it on my hair, and it's great. It has shine. But supposedly, it has benefits that we didn't know. And once these requests became a few hundred, we had to take it seriously. Now, how did we have to differentiate ourselves from the other hundreds of shampoos being sold in India, right? So this was 4.5 years ago. I mean, so we said, we have to make the best hair care product now. So we did some market research, and took us 6 months. We said, we're going to differentiate ourselves by being the first chemical-free, sulfate-free, paraben-free hair care product in India. It was the concept of chemical-free hair care products had taken off in the US, but in India it was just adjusting. So I think that gave us the boost that was needed on an online platform like Flipkart.com or Amazon.com for customers to compare our product with everything else and say, hey, I want something chemical-free, you know, for my skin and hair.
But someone can look at this and they see it on Amazon and it's beautiful and there's great products. There's probably so much that goes on behind the scenes.
Yes.
Like, were you always a business person? How did you learn all this?
I've been in the online marketing space since high school, I would say, but active in the health and beauty space probably since 2007 and 8. So I promoted it, I ran different brands and learned the space, but you know, when you first start companies, you make mistakes. But when I said I want to start something in India because e-commerce was just taking off and there was less competition, I partnered with my best friend, Karan, and his older brother, Manish, and my older brother, Arvind. And since I live in the States and you know, they were there, so we started off just like any other business, probably out of a garage, you know. We started out of Manish's house. We ordered the first product. His house was filled with all kinds of products and so on. We have humble beginnings, and we just started off. But my passion has been being able to come up with great landing pages, you know. When you sell products online, it's all about communicating the benefits of your product to the consumers in an efficient manner, and I think we are good at that, and that's what has differentiated us from the other brands in India and the US.
I love that. So do you want to take us through it?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So obviously this is our apple cider vinegar shampoo and conditioner. Our apples are actually from the Himalayas. So when we launched our apple cider vinegar, I wanted it something unique. So we actually get our apples from the orchards in the Himalayas in northern India, and you know, we went from there. And obviously people are like, hey, you made a shampoo, might as well make a conditioner. So made a conditioner, and then you know, once you get success, you start listening to consumers. They tell you what to do next. Like, you know, they tell you what's working, and we are very nimble, we are quick, we travel the world looking for great ingredients, great products. We want the best for our consumers. We select the best quality products. We don't compromise on, you know, cheap ingredients and so on. So, and that shows, I think. We have several category winners and top ranking products in different categories in India
on Amazon, and we are looking to bring over all those products.
So what are some of these?
These are essential oils for aromatherapy, and I'm not sure if you've used essential oils before.
Oh, I definitely have introed myself into the oil space.
Yes.
So this is for the hair also, or what is this just for this is for getting ready, like in the whole bathroom?
Yes, of course. These are all the products.
You can just leave it in there.
Yeah, these are all the products. Of course, we made an apple cider vinegar face wash, which will, help with acne and, dryness and oily skin and so on. Of course.
And we love the charcoal.
Charcoal scrub, of course. We had to get into the charcoal mania when.
And
So, but ours
picking
is
right
no
up on those trends.
We don't have any parabens or mineral oils, so it took us time to formulate this, but that's why it's the top seller on Amazon India when it comes to charcoal scrub. Yes.
And what is charcoal good for?
It detoxifies your skin. Obviously, if you have an upset stomach, people tell you to take charcoal pills. It's something like that.
So you can just have all black on your face. You can brush your teeth so that makes your teeth white.
Yes.
Help your digestion.
And it's completely fine. I mean, and not in excess. It's absolutely fine for your health.
What do you think would surprise people most about creating and managing and growing a business of this size and success?
I would say you have to be patient, right? The first couple of years are never going to be easy in any business. Even if you look at the big companies that we all go gaga over, be it the Facebooks or the Microsofts or the Snapchats of the world, they all have humble beginnings, and we generally tend to see the good years and tend to forget the early years where the founders and the partners, fight through a lot of challenges. And we've gone through a lot of challenges, Hey, when you grow too fast, how do you make sure your vendors are ready to, supply you the ingredients to make your products? We ran it, listen, it's a good issue to have that you keep going out of stock than sitting with tons of stock in your warehouse and can't sell it. We have the other issue. We have to keep upping our production every quarter because we keep smashing through our targets. It's a good issue to have. We are almost doing 20 containers a month all the way from India to the US right now. So that's a lot of logistical issues. We're trying to add smarter people. So I would say one of the most important things to do is have people who are smarter than you, so it makes your life easier. Luckily for me, my partners in India are very smart, probably smarter than me. I do a lot of the online marketing, which I tend to enjoy. And in the US, we're trying to add smarter people than me to help with the growth. So I would say it's all about team and
Speaking of, we should get a little shout out to Kate here.
Kate, Morgan Publicity.
Amazing. She's smarter than all of us.
She's the best.
I'm very curious, though, on what you would say about the mindset of an entrepreneur. What do you think have been like the 3 or 4 key mindsets to maintain when growing such a successful business?
Willing to accept your mistake. And be humble enough to, accept criticism, both from customers and also your own teammates. Number 3, I would say, is discipline with focus, laser focus on, and discipline with your goals, right? Like, you have to be disciplined through ups and downs. Don't get distracted with various projects. And number 4, I would say, is take some time off once in a while, which I don't do much.
I was going to say, do you?
But my partners do tell me to, and I try to get some time with my family and friends on weekends. But I think time off is important to refresh your mind and get back.
As things have gone increasingly online since you began the business,
have
you been increasingly tempted to increase your advertising and marketing at all? I mean, you've experienced such an unprecedented growth. It's not necessary,
it's a linear curve, right? So what happens as you spend more, your returns on your advertising spend is not as lucrative when you're spending small. So you have to be able to accept that. But agreed, we have had, of course, marketing in India is cheaper than marketing in the US, but it's 2 different markets, so we understand that. So our marketing budgets in the US are a lot higher. And there's a lot more competition in the US, so you're competing with the big boys.
This retail for? And can they buy them individually? How
Yeah,
does it
so
work?
of course you can buy them individually, but we suggest you use them together for the maximum effect. So this retails for $29.95 on Amazon,
It's a great
and
price.
you can also buy it on our own website, buywow.com. Essential oils will go anywhere from $8 to $12. The face wash is $14.95. This is a great apple cider vinegar toner for your skin and for your hair. Yes, this will go for $12.95. And some of these other products, of course, we sell in India at different price points, anywhere from $10 to $14.
And what's the middle one? I can't reach that far, but that one, yeah.
This is the 10-in-1 active day and night cream. So, you know, people in India were asking us to make products like they wanted a special day cream, night cream. India is actually catching up when it comes to, you know, looking over to the West and say, hey, these people have amazing variations with skin and hair routines. Well, can we launch those products? And that's probably key to our success. We are so receptive to customer requests that we launch product. We take our time in launching products, but we are nimble and we're quick and we listen. And we start off small. Any new launch we do, that's one of the other key success. We start off small. We don't go out of 50,000 bottles thinking, I know the market better than the market and this is going to work. No, we let the customers decide what product is successful and what's not.
Right. And can somebody purchase the entire box?
This kit actually, we specially prepared for colleagues and friends and family for Christmas.
Smart.
We made about 500 kits and we distributed them worldwide. A few celebrities, few Instagram influencers, and both in India and in the US. And of course, we have I got 3 extra just for 3
Oh,
you
yeah.
guys.
Thank you.
I appreciate that.
Amazing.
More extra for the team members, yes.
That's so gracious of you. Thank you.
But it's odd enough that so many of you have said that you want to buy a kit. Maybe we have to launch that.
Yeah, because it's a great.
It's a great
Nimble
gift
and
idea.
quick.
Absolutely.
It
I
is
mean,
a great gift
yeah.
idea.
And then you can keep your makeup and stuff in it after or something like that.
Exactly,
in the bathroom.
right? Yeah.
And be
This
wowed.
was all handmade in India. You know, we are great with arts and science. So this was all handmade, metallic in India.
Wow. Is there any new product that you've that's been requested a lot that's in like R&D right now and research and development that you're working on, or?
I would say in the US, right, they wanted specifically something for damaged hair. So we're working on something with apple cider vinegar in it, but a special formulation for damaged hair to...
We both want that.
Yes. We'll test
What
that for
happens
you.
is I think once you start styling and coloring your hair over time, it's not immediate, over time, especially women in the show business who do work
every day.
on it. So we're working on that, and color treated hair, keratin treated hair, you know, that's one thing we realized. In India, compared to the US has, consumers want a lot more variations in our products. So that's something we're working on.
All right. Well, thank you so much for everything. It's beautiful, beautiful. I'm so excited to try it out. It's going straight on my counter in my bathroom for sure. So thank you so much. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
I'm Kimberly Chang, and I'm a woman warrior.
And then another one, nonsense. I'm just kidding. You guys are all so newsy. I'm like, who was that? Was that Liberty?
Do you want the definition of a woman warrior?
Yeah, I'm gonna ask. Oh, I'm definitely. She's like,
okay.
Give me the question. So it could be resilience.
No, I was just gonna say that.
Okay, great. Done. Done. That's a great one. Woo! Love that.
We're gonna keep it real on Sweat with Soul. That's a wrap.
Okay. I said Dr. B Show. I'm just having fun. This is so hard. What else do I need to do? Oh. That's my life. That's funny. No, can we start all over? That's too much talking. Do I just talk again? That was so hard. Thank you.
Welcome back to Good Morning La La Land. We are here with Dr. Andrea Humphrey in the house. She is an author of Transformed for Purpose. I think this is an incredibly important topic so many people are going through. How are you doing, gorgeous?
I'm doing absolutely excellent. How could I not be doing well?
Right?
Sitting
That's how we
around
feel.
Such incredible, beautiful people.
That's how we feel having you here.
Thank you for being with us today.
We loved how at the beginning you said in the morning you go in and you remember who you are before you go out to the world. Because the world can tell you to be whatever and it's not the truth.
Absolutely define you if you don't define yourself. I like what you guys said earlier. You were talking about becoming and changing. And one of the things that happens, I think, is we wake up and we don't know who we are, then everything will pull and tug and shape. And you'll get to the end of your day and you're like, what did I accomplish that I intended to accomplish? And who was I? Who was I? Because sometimes we get lured into being people that we don't intend to be.
So who at this point do you feel most committed to being? Who are you?
It's kind of interesting. Thank you.
I know one thing, she's more than just his wife.
That part is absolutely true.
Touche.
I'm torn between a dream awakener or a transformation specialist. I'm toying with those two ideas. One of the things that happened is I started looking at my life talking with a coach, and I owned a beauty shop. I like people to come in one way and go out another. I was a professor at Northridge for 13 years. I like students to come in without knowledge and to leave with knowledge. I worked at the Walt Disney Company for 20 years, managing and directing finances for all of Tokyo theme parks. And we would see models, 1 to 100 models. And then one day, 10 years later, we'd be in the park and we are those people. So I started realizing I really like transformation. I like seeing things go from one thing to another and become better. And so I'm coaching, I'm doing executive development, and helping people spiritually, financially, emotionally, relationally, and spiritually be the best themselves they can be.
Yes, yes,
Was there a moment or a person in your life that truly helped you transform?
God. Really, just God.
The best coach there is.
The best.
Because ultimately the only one, really.
The only one.
He knew who he designed you to be, right? I think we were all created with purpose. And so trying to figure out what was I here to do? What was I put on earth to do? Because I think we all have an individual calling and a blueprint that only you can do for your life, only you can do for your life, and only you can do for yours. And I'll meet people that you may never meet, and you'll meet people I may never meet. So if I'm not my authentic self that he created me to be, then I'm not fulfilling the purpose for which I'm on the earth.
Oh, absolutely. How did you discover that through God? How did you discover this in that destiny? Was it prayer? Was it meditation? Was it thinking, talking to people?
How about all of that and then trial and error?
Yeah.
Can we add that to the list?
Yeah.
Of starting and stopping and starting and then figuring out, that's not me. That's not me.
But I think that's such an important point in the conversation. People then get discouraged and they think, I've failed at my purpose.
No. How many guys this is the first job and the only job you've ever had?
Yeah, this is the only one.
You guys were talking about careers and shifting and change, and you said change is not as difficult. We do change all the time. We change jobs, we change careers. Circumstances force us to change. And we may not want to do the change in that moment, but things push us in a direction, and we look up and we have to make a shift. And it's funny how when we're forced to do something, that it becomes a lot easier, right? Think about when someone gets sick, and they've been saying, I'm gonna change my eating habits for years. But then somebody gives them a diagnosis, and all of a sudden greens and cabbage and green beans look pretty doggone good, right?
It's all a blessing.
It's such a
right?
good point. My brother loves horror movies, so he'd always make me watch like the Saw movies, and I never really wanted to get into any of that. But the one thing I did take away from those movies is when there's a gun to your head, it's incredible how quick and how easy decisions become.
It is the truth.
Yeah.
The truth.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, that shift of knowing for you.
Yes.
Everything's, and I think that's like, when you can get there, life gets so easy.
It really does.
But usually it comes with some hard times and further than that. What was your kind of hardest thing going through your awakening around all this?
Well, I started off doing finance and teaching and helping, in the normal realm of academics and life. And then this is gonna sound really, really weird, but my husband and I started a church, and then I had the worst days that I've ever had. It would seem like in doing, helping people, that those would then begin the best days, but the expectations of people for you to be perfect, the expectations for you to be whatever it is that they wanted you to be was a really, really heavy burden on me. And it came to a point where I was working. I was teaching at the university. I have 2 teenage daughters at this time, but when we started, they were young. I was working at Disney, I owned the beauty shop, and everywhere things were pulling, and I realized I'm gonna have an emotional breakdown here if something doesn't shift because the weight of it is too much. And so I had to shift into redefining what it is that I wanted to be and what was important, and prioritizing that for myself and not letting the requests of everybody else define my priorities.
So important.
That part of the catalyst for this book?
The catalyst for that book, More Than Just His Wife, It's Time to Come Out of the Shadows, was going around to different conferences, particularly where they were men-oriented, and meeting a woman and saying, "Hi, I'm Andrea Humphrey, what's your name?" "Oh, I'm the pastor's wife." "What's your name?"
I'm gonna kill somebody. I got a pet peeve with that, right?
Yeah. You know, the man who's putting on the conference, I'm his wife. "Baby, what's your government name?" "What did your mother put on your birth certificate?" And I went away and I was talking to my husband, complaining. I'm like, women don't know who they are. They're submerged underneath the personality and the charisma of these men, whether it's athletes, politicians, any man that has presence. The woman has a tendency to slide into the shadow. And let me tell you, in the shadows is darkness, depression, despondency, broken dreams. And so I was telling my husband, somebody needs to do something about it. And he said, yeah, why don't you?
Why can't that somebody be you?
And so I started writing, and then oddly enough, I wrote from a perspective of somebody looking outward into other people's lives and the fallout of living in the shadows without really understanding what that felt like. Because my husband is amazing at giving me a platform to jump off of. But life took a turn. I lost 25 people in 24 months.
Oh my God.
Some of those were roommates, parents, which we hung out at their house. So I knew them, my grandmother, my spiritual mom, my husband's mom, my best friend, all within from 2012 September to 2014 September, 25 deaths. And it broke me. And I found myself depressed and down and going, is this my life? And in that place, I realized what it's like to live in the shadow of darkness. Anytime something breaks the plane of light shining on your life, it creates a shadow. And so those things had broken the plane of light shining on my life. And I finally understood what it was like to be in those dark spaces. And I wrote after coming out of that from a different space. I didn't write from, you need to come out of the shadows because the light is really good. I wrote from a place of understanding what it's like to be down and to be depressed and to feel broken.
So important.
And come into transformation.
You know, the purpose thing, I have a formula. I use it as basically your triumphs, whatever the hardest thing you've gone through, plus your passion and skill set. And I truly believe that we wouldn't take that on. If we choose to be leaders, we choose to be whatever, and we've got to go through that to have the understanding, that experience, that compassion, and everything else. So important. But I'm curious to know also, you're talking about how you're a minister, essentially. And it's interesting because the stats show it's actually one of the hardest careers there is because of that expectation of being perfect. So how do you, as a leader, get real and still lead?
It used to be difficult. It's not as difficult anymore because I readjusted the expectation, and I'm not afraid to fail anymore. I think part of it is being afraid to let all those people down and to live out their expectations. And I finally came to the conclusion that I have one life, and that's it. And I'm going to live it to the fullest, and I'm going to be who I was created to be without shame, without guilt, without trying to play twister, because this person wants this, that person wants that, this person wants that, that person wants that.
It's exhausting.
And it is exhausting.
Right.
And so I finally came to the conclusion that I'm going to live this one life singularly with purpose and intentionality. I'm going to be the best I can with integrity with every person that I come in contact with. And I'm going to live my authentic life and take the pressure off.
Congratulations.
Woo!
Yes.
That sounds good. Where's the cocktail? I'll raise my glass to that one.
This is not dress rehearsal, and I do believe in eternal life, but I only believe that we form in this life. This is it. So really it is one life in that respect. So yes, thank you for stepping up. And if you really got that, it's like, how can you be afraid of anything? How can you be afraid of anything? In fact, you should be afraid of not living.
Absolutely. Because if you fail, what are the consequences? And you start again.
Your key ends up in the gutter.
Every morning.
That's what happens.
Yes.
Oh, well, you are such a light. I can't believe it. So tell us about your book. Tell us a little bit about what that.
So this one, Transform for Purpose. It's an odd title. My coach kept saying, "Don't you mean transform by purpose?" And I said, "No, I am being transformed for the purpose for which I was created." And so it's 30 chapters. The first one is about your mind, making sure that your mind and how you think and how you perceive, because you talked about that a little bit earlier in the intro, how you think will shape what you do. And so how do we get our minds uncluttered? My mom used to say this, maybe your parents did too. Have you lost your mind when you did something? And in my family, have you lost your cotton picking mind? And so I used to, when I was a kid, I was like, what does that mean? And what she meant was you're living outside of what is right mentally. And not crazy, but you've lost your identity of who you are and you're acting outside of that identity. And so the first chapter deals with, let's make sure our mind and how we think, as a man thinketh, so is he or she. And so let's get our thoughts right, first and foremost. Who we are, who we were created to be, who is the creator, however you perceive that to be, and live that authentically.
And then it's okay to be righteous, right?
It is. It is, it is, it is. Because for me, and my particular belief, we're created in his image and he is righteous. And I'm a portion of that.
Profound, I love it. What other themes do you most love about the book?
I love who told you that? That's one of the chapters. Who's speaking to you the negativity that shifts your everyday and causes you to believe that you're less than? Because you really are more. Not just more than just a wife, you're more than just a mom, you're more than just a TV host, you're more than just a friend, more than just a sister. And so let's arrest those voices of negativity, shut them down, right? And surround ourselves with people who believe, not just in who we are, but believe in what we're called to do, right?
And in knowing your purpose and what you're called to do, what's next for you?
What's next for me? Oddly enough, doors have opened up. I love your last guest. I was just in India a few months ago, speaking engagements on leadership. A couple of years ago, I felt like I didn't have enough material as it relates to speaking on leadership and coaching, so I went back and got my doctorate in educational leadership. And doors have just been begun to open, speaking and teaching in different countries, which I am loving because I love people. And it's been pretty awesome to help women be empowered in countries where up till now, you know, they've been second-class citizens.
So true. Well, this is your ministry for preaching. Your righteousness. So tell people where they can find you, where they can find your books.
My books are on Amazon, both of them, More Than Just His Wife and Transformed for Purpose, and then www.andreahumphrey.com is my website, and if anybody wants to, I can be found at Hope Christian Ministries in Granada Hills.
All right.
Every Sunday.
Amazing.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Oh, my
Stay
pleasure.
tuned.
Thank
We'll be
you,
right
my
back.
friend.
We are the Mouseketeers, and we proudly wear our ears. We mousin', we mousin', M-I-C-K-E-Y-M-O-U-S-E, go Mickey Mouse. Good morning, LALALAND.
Wow. like literally wow. The line right there, wow, and wow, Dr. Andre. Gotta just share my gratitude and appreciation for you guys. Really, really phenomenal. I just feel like on fire today as a result of that, so thank you both.
Appreciate it.
We're talking a little bit earlier in the show about transformation, you know, being Wealth Wednesday. And so I'm wondering, what tip might you have for viewers who want to transform their lives or their business?
Trust your team all day long, because you can go from probably A to F on yourself with just adrenaline and push yourself, but without good team members. And if you don't trust your teammates, most entrepreneurs tend to forget that they got to where they are, or whatever success they've seen, because they learned from their mistakes. And we tend to ignore, get annoyed with our teammates when they make mistakes. So we need to be patient and let them learn from their mistakes too. So that would be my tip. Trust your teammates, let them make their mistakes, and learn and grow within the team.
Phenomenal.
And actually, would piggyback on that, you can only trust your team if you have a great team around you. And realizing that you don't have to be great at everything, but you have to have great people around you, so that what I don't know, you might know, or you might know, and together we create greatness.
Oh, I love that. Yes. Who would you say is on your team? Who do you feel most on your team?
My husband, first and foremost. Again, he allows me to fly and soar. I'm all over the world, and he makes sure that he holds down the home front. And so I give absolute credit to him first and foremost. God, secondly. And then I have a pretty incredible team of women around me that keep me in check, hold me accountable, and love me, even through my failures and my flaws.
Yeah. And did your team come together pretty organically? I know there's a lot of some family in there.
Yeah, and a couple of my colleagues through the industry that I was in, which is affiliate marketing, who are also business partners now. So we all actively play a pretty significant role in different parts of the business. So I would say, yeah, like she said, without my partners, I wouldn't be here. So.
Yeah. Amen to that. Second that.
Same with us, right?
Yes.
It takes a team. No question about it.
You guys are a great one.
We say we're hashtag community powered here at Focus TV.
Absolutely.
But I do think it's interesting. I mean, solo entrepreneurship is a tough gig, and it's a lonely gig. There's no question about it. And I do think that Spirit truly desires, there's just no way to rise without a team and without partnership and collaboration. I think it's a big conversation in the online space and everything, people realizing they just can't have individual brands. It's going to be obsolete, in my opinion. It's very hard to do.
I have a question. How do you make decisions within that team? So I think different teams make decisions in different ways, but have you found anything that's been really helpful in making good decisions within that team?
I think the collaborative process of no idea is a bad idea, and letting people put it out there, but reminding my team, don't be so attached to your idea that if it gets shot down, you feel like you got shot down.
Oh, that's big.
It's just the idea that got shot down. Disney does one thing, they put creative people in the room that are on the same project and let them go at it with one singular intention to come out of that, with it being a great product. I took that process, and you can argue. You can argue with my team, and it's okay. Let's get the best idea.
I love that.
With me, I would say, when I said trust your partners, like I said, each of my partner does unique things in the business, and when it comes to that particular category in the business and they take a decision, we all support it anonymously, and we believe that person has taken the best decision for the company as a whole, and you have to let the decision play out. You should, like she truly said, you shouldn't shoot it down, and all of us should be open to criticism and ideas and exchange of ideas, and which, as long as you have that process gelled out, I think you can sail through.
Yeah, I love that. So how do we apply that to politics? Just kidding. We don't do politics here at all.
I'm going to shut that down right now. We are Good Morning LALALAND, America's first live streaming daily talk show, coming to you live Monday through Friday. And be sure to listen to all your favorite interviews available as a podcast on iTunes.
That's right. We're waking up the world together. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Have a beautiful day and support these amazing humans.
It's going to be a good morning, LALALAND.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.